Hello, I'm Great Uncle John. Is that Sammy and Liam I can see in the distance? And can I see your daddy, Chris? Yeah? The Kelly family, is that right? Living in Sweden, but very close to Finland. I thought I'd send you or read you a story. And I thought I'd choose one that you might know about called the Moomins. Do you know about the Moomins? I've got the pictures here of the Moomins. That's Moomin Troll. He's the son of Moomin Mama and Moomin Papa. Yeah, and there's lots of other characters as well that come in the story. So I'm guessing you might know already about them, yeah? And they're used to living where you live, aren't they? They live in Finland, I think. And I've got a book here, which I thought I'd do a little bit from, called Moominland, Midwinter. Now, it's getting to midwinter time where you are, isn't it? We're in the end of November, nearly December, and I'm guessing you've got snow on the ground where you are. Is that right? Yeah. Now, me and my and Nanny Jen should be to you, I suppose. We went to Finland with my youngest son and his girlfriend in February, and wow, was it cold! All the ice and the snow, and the lakes were frozen. You know all about that, don't you? I bet you've got all sorts of special gear. I mean, I've got a special hat here that I wore when I came to Finland. It's very warm, but it's not. Don't need it today. Okay, now I've got special glasses on, which means I can see you, and hopefully you can see me. So I thought I'd have a go at this. If you fall asleep and tell Dado, or tell him not to bother anymore, but if you need another one, if you want to know a bit more about it, then I'm happy to do another one. I'm doing the same for all my other grandchildren, okay? So this is called Moominland in winter. And it starts really with all the Moomins, the family, getting ready to hibernate. And I think you know about hibernation, don't you? Because in Finland, particularly, the bears hibernate, don't they? And they get themselves buried in the snow. Well, the Moomins and many other animals also hibernate. They have a long sleep when the weather's the coldest, darkest, during November all the way through to April. So I just thought I'd start reading from this first chapter. There aren't many pictures, I'm afraid. There's Moomin. There he is, just before he went to bed with everybody else. And it says the sky was almost black, but the snow shone a bright blue in the moonlight. And the sea lay asleep under the ice. And deep down among the roots of the earth, all small beasts were sleeping and dreaming of spring. But spring was quite a bit away. Now, where Moomin and his family were was a really nice house. And it was a house that was warm and cosy. Heaps of coal and peat were smouldering in the central heating stove in the cellar. And sometimes the moon would look in on the window to see how they were doing. And in the drawing room was a large stove, and that's where the warmth came while the Moomin family all lay asleep, their long winter sleep. Now, they always slept from November to April because that was the custom. And everybody had a good meal of pine needles in their stomachs. That's what they ate before they went to sleep for many months. And they had everything laid out ready for when they woke up in the spring. Their spades, their glasses, their films, and everything else they'd need to start living again. And the silence in the house was deep and expectant. Every now and then somebody sighed or curled or rattled under the quilt. And a streak of moonlight sometimes wandered through, looking at the chairs and the drawing room table. But then something happened that had never happened before, and not since the first Moomin took to his hibernating den. Moomin Troll, remember him, the son of Papa Moomin Troll and Mama Moomin Troll. I've got it the wrong way around. Moomin Mama and Moomin Papa, that's right, isn't it? Anyway, something happened the first time that had never happened before. Moomin Troll woke up and found he couldn't go back to sleep again. And he looked at the moonlight and the ice ferns on the window, and he listened to the humming of the stove in the cellar, and he was more awake and astonished. And finally, he got out of bed and he padded lightly around, and he went up to Moomin Mama's bed. He pulled her ear very cautiously, but she didn't awake. She just curled into an uninterested ball. And Moomin Troll thought to himself, if not even Mother wakes up, it's no use trying the others. I bet your daddy sleeps in, doesn't he? You have to wake him up. Yeah. Moomin Troll thought and went along by himself on a round through the familiar and mysterious house. All the clocks had stopped years ago, and a fine coat of dust covered everything. You see, if you don't do your dusting, that's what happens. And then on the drawing room table was a soup bowl with lots of pine needles left over from November. But what Moomin Troll recognised was it wasn't the time that he should be waking up. He should still be asleep like his family, because it was still very dark and there was only moonlight, and he felt terribly lonely. Mother, wake up, Moomin Troll shouted. All the world's got lost. And he went back and he pulled her quilt. But Moomin Mama didn't wake up. For a moment, her dreams of summer became uneasy and troubled, but she wasn't able to open her eyes. And Moomin Troll curled up on the bed mat, realising he should never have woken up. Okay, there he is, looking around the house, all on his own. My goodness. Now, it's quite a long story, so I think I'd stop there. If you liked it, you tell Daddy, and Daddy can tell me, and I'll perhaps do another bit later on, okay? Anyway, I wish you a very happy Christmas and New Year, and Christmas Eve, I know is very important, and hopefully one day we will see you again. Bye-bye for now.